Classified as injured. Do we know how serious their injuries are?
Well, that's still a good question. From the news conference that ended a little while ago over at the fairgrounds this morning, they revised those numbers slightly, actually upward. Turns out that there were 45 people who were injured last night seriously enough to require hospitalization. We're not sure how many of those who are still hospitalized, but we do know anecdotally that hospital by hospital that most of the people are still in the hospital. And then, of course, the 5 folks who were killed, 4 of them last night at the scene, and then one, a guy named Nathan Bird, who is a 51-year-old stagehand. He was actually up on the rigging, had climbed up high to adjust spotlights on the rigging, and when they collapsed, and he was essentially crushed. But they were able to keep him on life support for several hours, and then they ended up taking him off life support a little after 5 o'clock this morning. So he became the 5th fatality. But there still is a possibility, authorities said, of further fatalities. Some people are in fairly precarious shape. We do know at least...
If you were hit, there was no choice but to be severely hurt.
I think that's very possible. It's a little speculative at this point. We do know that one particular hospital, that it was, I think, a second-tier hospital, they got 18 patients, and their injuries are described as non-life-threatening there, so they may have been filtering the injuries to specific hospitals.
Yep.
But on the same token, anecdotally, I've heard some accounts of especially from those who were killed, of some just jaw-dropping, horrific injuries. I mean, this is thousands and thousands of pounds of steel and metal just dropping down on an audience.
Yeah.
And you can imagine, unfortunately, what kind of carnage that's caused.
In what seems like about a second and a half from, tall scaffolding up there to the drop.
Yeah, it took about 3 seconds to fall.
Yeah.
We had a photographer and a rock music critic was on the scene and instantly became a breaking news reporter.
Oh, you can about imagine. With regard to anybody pointing blame, look, I know